ourselves. So today we're going to talk about the pursuit of happiness in a beautiful morning. It snowed last night here in Barcelona, and this happens every 5 years. So imagine how pretty having this view with us today is. So today we're going to talk about the pursuit of happiness, which is what brings many of you to therapy, coaching, or any type of process, because you want to pursue your happiness. You want to do a change that is related to that. So this all has to do with our emotional state. There is a present emotional state that we are not feeling related to anymore, that we don't like. Sometimes it's very tough. We're suffering too much. Maybe we are going through a depression, we're grieving, maybe we're going through anxiety symptoms, and we don't understand how to change this. Maybe we're even feeling that we're losing our minds because we don't understand what is going inside of us. And sometimes we just get irritated, we get angry, we don't know how to change that. Sometimes we feel guilty, and many more. So every emotional state is related to your mindset, is related to your way of thinking. It is not that one generates the other or the contrary. It has to do with the global experience that you're having. So what I always use in the therapies that I take, any process that I'm doing with a client, I always use the map of consciousness in Hawkins from this book that is called Power versus the Force. And I always go with the clients, with the patient, through this map of consciousness. I'm going to put a picture afterwards because I'm going to invite you to do the same exercise that I do with the people that come with me. So what we're looking in this map of consciousness is that our emotions are organized in a scale that goes through the worst emotional state that we can feel, that is shame, because this is related to a miserable sensation that we're having in life, all right? And there is a process that we have to go through. So to change this, we have to eliminate this type of feeling. So there are numbers here in the scale because this has to do with the frequency, with the emotional frequency, the vibration, the energy vibration that you are having when you're having this state, this emotional state. So it's very important to understand that your emotions make you be in a mindset in a general state where you're feeling miserable, for example. And why is this happening? Because, for example, you're going through shame. You don't like something that you did, you feel ashamed of yourself, and this is also related to guilt. That is the next emotional state, is guilt, all right? It's a little bit higher in the frequency scale, but it's the same. So sometimes you even want to destroy yourself. You're not feeling good. So this usually breaks you down, okay? And this goes through all the emotions that we can have. So the negative emotions always keep us in a very low vibration because we're in a passive state. We are not feeling like we're able to do something about it. We're feeling in a passive state. We don't feel like we're in an active state where we can change that, what is happening to us. Sometimes this comes from a mindset of victimisms, sometimes not. Sometimes it's because you really don't understand how to get out of that process that you're going through. So first we have to identify which are the general emotions that we're having, our general emotional state. This is the first thing that we have to do. We have to do a review, a checkup of our general state. After you understand, well, I'm usually feeling from fear to courage, for example. So you are moving in a range an emotional range that can be shorter or larger. It depends. And this pendulates. So you move in a wave. So we check the range of emotions that you're going through. Because sometimes you can have very high levels of emotion that are love, for example, but then there's something that happens on some process that you're going through, some mental process, something that you have to resolve in your life that makes you feel angry, for example, or in fear, or you're grieving, or you don't feel like you have the will to do stuff. So you can move through different emotions. This is the second thing that we check, is these specific situations and relationships. Okay, I separate this in two. There are the situations, the activities that you do, the things that you do in life that make you feel the different emotions that you're feeling, and the people, how the people that you know bring up from you different emotional states. Because this is the way to understand how our resonance to the others bring the best of us or the worst in us. And why is this important? Because when you understand the different states of your mind and the different emotional states that you have, then you can choose the activities and bring more of the good into your life, okay? And put the negative in a place where you can work with it. Because when you come to therapy, it's because the bad states are taking over you. It's like a tsunami. Something is coming up. You don't know what to do with it. It's like, all my life is a mess. I don't feel happy. I am depressed. So first, it's important to put things on their right place. Put them in the place that they belong. And yes, for example, if you're going through a grieving process, that usually takes a lot of your energy, because you're gonna have to say goodbye to someone that you love, someone that left you, or someone that passed away. This is a very complex process, because it's a real thing happening. So it's gonna take your time to put everything in order. So yes, you can do and relate to the good things in your life. You're gonna have to do that to bring energy, to go through the process of grieving, because you're gonna have to go through the process of grieving until you accept that loss that you're going through. For example, I would say this is the most difficult emotion to change, because it has to do with a permanent loss. So this is in another level of experience, and we go through this together, or you can go along, but you need to understand that you can help yourself by connecting to things that make you feel better. The other thing that we do when we check the range of your emotions is that we see if you are in a lower range of emotions, or you are in a higher range of emotions, and where do you want to move to. So we say, well, I ask you, where do you want to go? How do you want to feel with yourself? What are you looking for? Are you pursuing your happiness, which in the map of consciousness is really related to joy? Is the word that we use. And in Buddhism, we related to joy as well. So if you're looking for joy, this is of the highest emotions that you can have. You have love, joy, peace, and enlightenment. When you understand that we're all going to the same place, we're all looking for the same, and this is ordered in a scale, then you can structure your understanding of you. What makes me feel good? What makes me feel bad? What do I have to do to make myself feel better when I know what things bring the best out of me? Which relationships bring the best out of me? So what things do I have to change in my life? What do I have to keep doing to become that version of myself that I want to be? So we ask ourselves this. And when you get to know and understand that we're all looking for the same and everything is ordered in the same way, right? So then you're gonna consider more important than you would ever have considered before, having states of peace. People always talk about joy and happiness, and they feel like getting these moments through pleasure is what they're looking for. But no, I explain to people that we're looking for more than pleasure. We're looking for our ecstasies, our nirvana states. We're looking for the blissful experience all the time. We look for it in our sexual life. We look for it when people take substances, when you go to parties, when you buy something, when you want to have a relationship with someone. You're always looking for the same. You just don't know it. You haven't acknowledged that you are looking not for pleasure, but for ecstasies, but the real one that has to do with bliss. So it's a sacred emotional state that you can pursue. You can find it. In fact, it's inside of yourself. It's in the middle of your chest. And we calm our mind and we go here. And in fact, there's always peace inside. When you don't have peace, it's in the process of the life that you have created because of the many things that we're living outside of our essence. But inside, there's always going to be peace. I help people understand this and find the peace inside, because when you get to that place, then it doesn't matter where it's going outside. You're going to have the clarity, the calmness, the energy to go to that center place in you where nothing bad can happen to you. This is our Holy Spirit, okay? This is our sacred flame. And when you know how to get in this spot of yourself, when you know how to come in and get out of the world, and you come in and you know that these are higher states than pleasure, then you're gonna start changing your habits. You're gonna put in order your values and your ethics, and everything is gonna come around. It's gonna come around because there's a part of the noise that has to do with not feeling suffer and pursuing pleasure, but in fact, that is just noise. What we want, what we really want, is peace and divine connection. So welcome to your inner truth. I'm going to put now the picture of the map of consciousness so you can do the exercise and check your general states, your range of emotions, the activities that relate you to these different states, the different relationships and people that bring up which different states of emotions, and where are you headed to? What do you want to feel? Which are your next steps? Because we're going in a ladder. So you have to go from one to the other, to the other, to the other, so you can go up the ladder. Have a beautiful day, and I hope you can connect to your inner peace very soon.